Hello everyone! In this video I'm going to be showing you how to do this Python programming practice. Alright, so you can see that I have the instructions written out over here. So these say to create a program to calculate the required number of hot dog and bun purchases needed for a picnic. Assume that hot dogs come in packages of 10 and hot dog buns come in packages of 8. The program will then start by asking how many people will come to the picnic and how many hot dogs they will each eat. It will then report 1. The minimum number of hot dog packages to buy. 2. The minimum number of hot dog bun packages to buy. 3. The number of hot dogs that are left over. And 4. The number of hot dog buns that are left over. Alright, now these instructions up here are basically telling us what the information that we will need to write this program. And then these steps 1 through 4 that we will report is what we're going to output to the user based on the information that they give us. All of this information up here is crucial for us to write our program. Alright, so to start this program, the first thing that I want to do is write a little print statement just telling the user what this program is going to do. Since they won't see any of our commenting here, they're only going to see what we print and output to the screen, so we want to make sure it's informative and lets them know what's going to be going on. So I'm going to say this program will calculate the required number of hot dogs and buns needed for a picnic. Now, after that, what I want to do is just another print statement, just telling them what they're going to need to do in this program, so the information that they're going to need to enter. So I'm going to say, you will need to enter the number of people attending the picnic and how many hot dogs each person will eat. Alright, now that's all just telling the user what this is about. Now what I want to do is actually get the number of people who will be attending the picnic from the user. So I'm going to say number of people, that's my variable, equals int, and we want to say it's an int because we can't have half of a person attending the picnic. Int input, and then how many people will be attending the picnic. Alright, and then I'm going to put a question mark and then a little space. Alright, now that will allow them to enter in how many people will be attending this picnic. Alright, now next what we want to do is ask them how many hot dogs each person's going to eat. So I'm going to say number of dogs each, because that's how many each person is going to eat. And we're going to call this one a float because somebody can eat like half of a hot dog or a quarter of a hot dog. It's different than with people. You can't have half a person attending, but you can have someone eat half a hot dog. So we're going to call this a float just to count in case the user will enter a float. It won't crash our program. So I'm going to say float input how many hot dogs will each person eat? Question mark. Alright, now that we got both of those, we can move on. So now we want to calculate the total number of hot dogs eaten. Now to do this, we're going to multiply the number of people times the number of hot dogs each person eats. So we're going to say total dogs eaten. That's what my variable is going to be. And I'm going to say number of people times number of dogs each. Pretty straightforward so far. Alright, now we want to get the total buns eaten, which will happen to be the same as the total dogs eaten. But I'm still going to do the calculation here again, just so that I don't have a variable equaling another variable. Alright, so total buns eaten equals number of people times number of dogs each. Alright, makes sense. We're assuming everyone's going to eat a hot dog with a bun. Alright, now what we want to do is get the total packs of hot dogs eaten, or total packs of hot dogs that we will need to buy. So we're going to say total packs of dogs equals, we want this to be an integer because you can't have part of a pack, and we're going to say int total dogs eaten. We're going to divide it by 10. So we force it to be converted to an integer because we don't want to buy a partial pack. We want to get the remainder of this, so we want to know how many, this will tell us how many full packs that we need to buy. Then we want to know how many hot dogs are left over, so that we know if we need to buy an extra pack. Alright, so I'm going to say total packs dogs remainder. Now these variables are getting pretty long and descriptive because we're going to do this for the hot dogs and then we're going to do this for the buns, so we need to be more specific with our variables. So I'm going to say equals total dogs eaten, and then this remainder operator, 10. Now that we have that, we want to make an if, elif, else block. So we want to say if total dogs eaten is greater than or equal to 1, and total dogs eaten is less than or equal to 10, then we want to say packs of dogs to buy equals 1. Then we can just say print the number of hot dog packages to buy is 1. So we already know that. We only need 1 if there's less than 10 people eating and more than 1. Alright, now we need a little more calculation. So we're going to say elif. Then we want to say total packs dogs remainder equals 0. We want to say that the packs of dogs to buy is equal to an integer because we can't buy a partial pack of hot dogs. We're assuming we can only buy the whole pack. And then it's going to be the total dogs eaten divided by 10. Then what we can do is we can print and say the minimum number of hot dog packages to buy is, space there, then we want to say packs of dogs to buy. To buy. This one right here will account for if we have between 1 and 10 hot dogs being eaten. Right, so then this elif statement here is going to account for if there's 10 divides evenly into the number of hot dogs that are going to be eaten. So we can buy an even number of packs and don't need to account for any extra dogs that are left over. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to say else. And here we're going to say if total packs dogs remainder is greater than or equal to 1, and total packs dogs remainder is less than or equal to 9, then what we will have is packs of dogs to buy equals total pack of dogs plus 1. The reason for this is that in here we have if the remainder is between 1 and 9, which means the full extra package wouldn't be accounted for in any of these other if statements. So what we need to do is we need to add 1 here so that we get an extra pack and have enough hot dogs. Now once we do that, we can say print the minimum number of hot dog packages to buy is then packs of dogs to buy. To buy. All right, now that is all that we need to do for the hot dogs, and now we can move on and do the same thing with the buns. All right, so what I'm going to do is say, first I want to calculate how many packs of buns we need. So I'm going to say total packs of buns equals int total buns eaten divided by 8. Now what I want to do is get the remainder. So I'm going to say total packs buns remainder. And I'm going to set that equal to the total buns eaten. And then this remainder operator, 8. All right. Now that we did that, we can start our if else block. All right, so I'm going to say if total buns eaten is greater than or equal to 1, and total buns eaten is less than or equal to 8, then what we want to do is say packs of buns to buy equals 8, or equals 1, I'm sorry. Right, and then we can print the minimum number of bun packages to buy is 1, because we already know it's 1. Now we need elif, and we can say elif total packs buns remainder equals 0. So elif total packs buns remainder equals 0. Then we will say that the packs of buns to buy is equal to int total buns eaten divided by 10, or divided by 8. Then we can print that the minimum number of hot dog packages to buy is space packs of buns to buy. And finally, we need our else block, and we're going to say else. Then in here we're going to put another if, and we're going to say if total packs buns remainder is greater than or equal to 1, and total packs buns remainder is less than or equal to 7, then we want to say that the packs of buns to buy is equal to total packs of buns plus 1. Alright, again, this is the same reasoning as why we did it for the hot dogs. Alright, so then we want to say print the minimum number of bun packages to buy is, and then packs of buns to buy. Perfect. Now that's all we need for figuring out how many hot dogs and hot dog bun packages to buy. Now that we did that, we also need to say the number of buns and number of hot dogs that are left over. Alright, so we're going to say leftover dogs equals, and we want this to be an int, and we're going to say packs of dogs to buy, then we're going to multiply that by 10, since there's 10 hot dogs in each pack that we buy. And then from that, we are going to subtract the total dogs eaten. And then we can print that the number of hot dogs left over are leftover dogs. Right, and then the same thing we can do for the buns. So we will say leftover buns equals int packs of buns 2 by times 8 this time, since there's 8 buns in each pack, and then minus total buns eaten. Alright, and then we can print that the number of hot dog buns left over are leftover buns. Alright, now that's everything that we need for this program. It's finished. It should work correctly, so I'm going to run it and show you what it looks like. Alright, so we got a little introduction, just telling the user what's going on, telling them what information they're going to need to enter, and then the question, how many people will be attending the picnic? Let's go ahead and say 15. And each person is going to eat 2 hot dogs. Alright, so the minimum number of hot dog packages is 3, minimum number of bun packages is 4. We have 0 hot dogs left over, and then the hot dog buns left over are 2. So 2 buns left over. Alright, that's it for this assignment, and that's it for the video. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll have more videos on Python programming coming out soon.